So DB was down, and I'm actually kind of glad for it because I didn't start making mistakes. Takeda Shingen. I know people are having like very mixed feelings. I've heard a lot of people saying he's mid, and like a lot of that has to do with like the first skill just being like a regular charisma with one little effect. But I look at what his competition actually is, and he only really has one competition, and it's like if you are hitting Ivan's niches, you should be using Ivan. If you don't hit Ivan's niches, you should be using Takeda. Takeda. I think it's Takeda. Yeah, like I can bring it up on the damage chart because it is actually up now. He does less damage than Europa and Drake. Now Drake has a buffed MP, that's why it's as high as it is. Europa doesn't, and she only has one steroid. He has 2 steroids, and he's still under. But you have to remember what Buster farming is. You are double popping skills. He can double pop an attack buff and a Buster buff. He can't. She can only double stack a Buster buff, but she has a damage steroid. And then Ivan has like everything. Like Ivan, the looping charts aren't. Oh, that's wrong. That's the wrong one. When I'm recording this, the looping charts aren't here. But like this is Ivan's base number, like 270k. Like compared to like everyone else, especially Europa. Like he is almost doing double. Like Europa is such a low fucking bar. So let's get started on this. Takeda Shingen. Base attack. He is looking a little low. 11.175k. I would honestly say you probably should grail him. He is rocking a triple Buster deck. He wants the damage. This is a con against him. I'm not going to deny it. The lower base attack, bit of a con. But I can tell why they did it, and it's because he is stacking an attack buff, and he's rocking triple Buster. Like, he's got a lot of red in his kit. And if you, like... And he also has debuffs. That's probably another reason it plays into it. He has an attack buff, a Buster buff, and he has res down for all card types. Let's go further. HP 13.7k. This is low. This I know is low for a 5-star. It's just barely acceptable, but he is running low HP in comparison. Luckily, you're fighting, like, he's mostly fighting casters who usually only have 2 actions, so you shouldn't be worried about him going down that easily. Star weight, star gen are normal rider numbers. MP charge at 0.57. Honestly, if you're doing a mighty chain like followed by the MP, this actually will refund pretty well because, like I said, he has an all res down on his MP. So these cards are going to refund better. The extra attack, if you get the pen, which again, that is up for debate. If you have Summer Chloe, I would definitely go mana loading instead of the pen. You're going to be able to do black rail looping once you get Chloe up and running. But yeah, no, like, because he's rocking a triple Buster deck, like, the best thing they could have done was give him a whole lot of hit count. They didn't want his Buster cards refunding, because they can do that in a mighty chain. It's just not much. But like, bitch is gonna get him refund off the Buster cards. He's got a lot working for him. He's not a one-trick pony. First skill, again, where people are having some contention. I want to point out something for how Buster farming works, though. So 20% attack. for the entire party, and then reduces one ally's cooldown by 1. For Buster farming, this actually matters a whole lot more than you think, because now you're able to double pop both his steroids back to back. So instead of turn 1 being low damage, turn 2 kind of being okay damage, and then turn 3 being your best damage, turn 2 is going to look a lot closer to turn 3. Like, the gap is not going to be as huge. So the burden of face carding in wave 2 isn't as heavy as it would be for, say, Drake. Although Drake, you can get away with Drake because, like, they're just not popping her first skill on turn 1. You pop it on turn 2 and then turn 3 too, because that's also on a 5 turn. But all things considered, he's gonna have okay turn 1 and better turn 2 than a lot of other units. Ivan's on a 5 turn. Yeah, like, it's starting to look like a more direct comparison to Ivan, and it's just one has a 30 battery and the other doesn't. Like, base Ivan didn't have a battery, so he wasn't a farmer. Takeda is a farmer at base, because 30% buster up and then a 50% battery on a 6 turn. And then he also drops 20 stars. He'll get all the stars because he's a rider. But yeah, these are low numbers, but you can double pop both of them in, like, back-to-back turns. I feel that is the main reason they, like, kind of held back on him being too good. And fortunately, because this skill isn't so overly amazing, like, they have room to buff this, because there are certain servants where their kit are just so good right now, there's no reason to buff them. Melisyn is probably the biggest example. She does not need a buff. If anything, she already has buff skills. They just don't show them in game. Like, these are fine. If, like, basically what I'm going after, like, if you don't have Ivan, like, Takeda is, like, I don't want to say he's on the same level as Ivan, but he's like Ivan if he doesn't have niche. Probably best example I can give. Third skill, Invo for 3 attacks, 3 turns, damage cut of 500 again for 3 turns. This is not hit base. Good MP gen rate up 30% for 3 turns. Again, this is on a 6 turn, so really you have only 2 turns of downtime for this. Remember that 2 turn number, because that means, bitch, in a challenge quest where you're not popping this back to back, like, you have 100% uptime on this. In challenge quests, it's not that hard to have 100% uptime on this skill. That, I think, has so much value. Like, again, you're not going to need an AoE that often in a challenge quest. Most of the time, you'd be better off with a single target to deal with the one enemy. But there are challenge quests where you have to deal with multiple servants. So this is not bad. You have a very long period where you're just not going to take damage with him. Again, and especially against casters who already do less, you might not even use up all the stacks of this if you're using him in a turn. I do hold up, because I also want to bring up Saber Medusa, because I remember she had a skill similar to this, but I think it was even more heavily defensive. Yeah, no, this, like, same 3 attacks, 3 turns on the 6 turn, which is, like, good by itself. Medusa is more specific. It's more like universal, but also you need to be fighting somewhere where this actually matters. This is always gonna be happening. This is always gonna affect his gameplay. He has face cards. He gens MP. He takes damage. I believe this also affects damage, MP gain when you take hits, but don't quote me on that. I don't know that off the top of my head. I would need to double check that. But the damage cut 500, always good. Like, damage cut can sometimes be enough where you don't take damage. Defense is better because it takes like 1,000, turns it into or thousands bags. You have 50% damage. Defense, 3,000 damage turns into 1,500. So yeah, and then damage cut, they work together. You bring it down even lower. So his skills are super basic. They're not paragraph essays where you have to actually, like, if you're playing on JP, you actually have to look go on the wiki and learn what the skill does. Otherwise, you're gonna have to try to figure it out yourself. And if you can't read Japanese, all right, passives. Riding A, he's a rider, and his quick guard isn't bad. Debuff resistance 12.5%. Again, he has debuff magic resist. That's nice. Takeda territory creation. Arts up 5%, and crit attack chance resistance. It's really funny because I just brought up Medusa, and then he also has crit attack chance resistance, but his is actually in his passives, not on a skill. Hers is obviously better, but like, he hit the 10%, which is what you need for all this crit attack chance resistance. It has to go up by 10. If he was like 5, it would barely matter. This is like a useless pen unless Usagi Kenshin 5-star Nagatoro. Wait, Nagatora. I think I'm saying that name. Kagetora. Oh my god. I'm thinking of the anime. Okay. Yeah, Kagetora. Unless she is a ruler, I don't see why he has this. So she's probably going to be a ruler. Now, extra attack versus a pen. If you want to do black rail looping, you need the pen. And that is going to set him apart from Ivan. Because Ivan is not going to be touching black rail outside of very niche circumstances or farming. He's able to do it. He is able to do the farming. I think it is a little too niche to like put that much value on it. Like, I wouldn't adjust him on the tier list, because that is putting units higher on tier list because they can use black rail with Summer Chloe in addition to their setups. That's going too into whale territory, and that's not something I want to like rank units on. That's just a bonus for them. For him, like, he would get so much value out of this. His hit counts are good. These aren't amazing, and his base attack isn't super high, but at least the attack you can kind of fix with by grailing. He's got MP gain, and he's rocking, like, in general, these gorillas do want to be popping mighty chains as much as possible. Again, you're not going to get it all the time, but when you get your extra attack, do good game. Yeah, can't English this morning. It's gonna do good damage, and then, like, remember, it's not just mighty chains. Red till you're dead, and this is gonna hit really hard. It's going to hit really hard with a full Brave Buster Chain, especially if you pop the MP. So 8-hit Buster AOE seals all enemies MP for 1 turn. He's got some decent survivability. He can stall, like, he can probably be okay as a solo servant. Just no, I take that back. Like, you would need to have like healing command codes. You would have to have healing command codes, because there is like really nothing for him to get back. You would have to like be banking on him just not taking damage from the damage cut. Which, yeah, no, not solo, not solo. I don't know. We'll see when Plushy has him solo Prison Tower if it's possible. But AOE MP Seal, good, and it's also pretty nice. Oh, sorry. Because in Challenge Quest, this stops enemies from getting MP ticks. So this is artificial survivability. Not hard survivability, but it's artificial, and it is AOE. This is the best part though. Pick res down. I didn't really talk about this yet, but he works in multi-core. Because of his kit, you can use him in a multi-core setup. Even like a Buster multi-core, like instead of him being okay, so let me bring up Summer 8's 90++ challenge, not challenge quest, the 90++ node. That was 3 enemies, 1-1. You did not need an AOE after that first turn. So as long as he can clear the first wave, you can give the cooldown reduction to your ally along with the attack buff, and then you can do regular Buster farming. Are there other units that can also do this? Yes, but most of them aren't riders. Yeah, I want to say like Buster, like he's a unit where you can actually do like double Buster multi-core. Like it really will depend on obviously carding, but he gives you flexibility. He gives you options that you didn't have before. Do you need these options? No, you do not. But it's nice that they're trying different stuff. I think I said the same thing about Takasugi. He's just generally good. He doesn't excel like anywhere, like over the others, but where they don't excel, he's gonna do probably a bit better than them. This res down also doesn't have to be just Buster. You can use this as a way to up the damage of whatever else you're running with. So it doesn't have to be just a Buster multi-core. You could be mixing and matching with Arts or Quick. Probably Arts because Clastoria is just the queen of multi-core. Or King. I would say King. Yes, King. Saber. Oh my god. I want to make a joke, but I'm a little too tired still. But yeah, Artoria Caster is the best support for multi-core, bar none. She would let Takeda start from 0, so he can use a stronger CE to help with his wave clearing. And if he's able to get back, he can even enable more damage on another turn if you have the option. This is also something I want to bring up because it happened when I was in Glitch's stream. His mats for Ascension are like some of the most tame I have seen on a 5-star in so fucking long. These mats do not take long for you to farm. I guarantee you could farm like this, like not for a whole skill. It might take a week at most. You see Shinpachi. He needs like 100 of he needs like 200 of each like bronze rarity mat, or like 3 different bronze rarity mats. He needs like 100 to 200 of them. He does not need bronze mats at all. This is probably the one that's going to be an issue, but again, this is in a pens, so only if you're a whale does this matter. It doesn't matter how many you need. I, yeah. So Ivan would be more of an issue for a lot of people because he needs bones and he needs this. He is easier to level than yeah, no, he is easier to level than Ivan. And honestly, like, I would say, like, ease of leveling also translates to ease of use. You're able to actually be farming with them a lot sooner than you would otherwise. You don't have to stress about using pure prisms, nearly as much as you would Ivan. Ivan is a mad sink. He's really good, but it definitely takes a while. And sometimes you are stuck on skills being a certain level for a while. Fonzie. It's not here yet. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. There we go. Bio Takeda. Buster card up 10% while on the field. MP damage up 10% while on the field for the entire party. This makes so much sense for him. It makes so much sense. So again, is this a unit you need to get? No. 100% wait until Banner 2, because it's not a question of if, it's when. I am like 99% sure we are getting a 5-star Kagetora. So wait, see if you like that unit more before you like go all in on summoning. I'm lucky I got my Shinpachi. I'm out for right now. All depends. I might go a couple more, but we got raids and a lotto. I don't want to do summoning that much unless in case I need to rainbow refill. Use those rainbow apples. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.